and welcome back. We have been traveling cross country from Florida all the way to Washington State, and I am so happy to finally be settling in and get back to recording. I finally got my babies back. I have missed them so very, very much. But we are at Northwest Trek today, and if you haven't heard of that, it is a zoo but also like a wildlife reserve that you can actually drive through. My father used to take me here when I was little, and I am so excited to be able to share this with you and of course my babies. So let's get exploring and go check out some wildlife. So I was just informed that they started doing these drive-through tours in your own vehicle right when COVID started, and it started doing so well that they just kept it going. So the one I'm thinking of that I went driving through might have been the Olympic Park one, closer to where we live in Sequim, Washington. So I do remember something similar where you could drive through it. That's probably what I remember. Now this one as a kid though, what I remember, they had trams. So you would get on these very long trams and they would take you throughout the wildlife park area. And so I believe that is what I remember. Still a lot of fun. Their tram system, however, is still down because I believe they are upgrading their tram tour. So it'll be nice to get some newer trams out there, and I look forward to coming back and showing you guys that side of the experience when it's up and running.
Car length to a full compact car length between cars. And the reason that we want to do that is because, one, here in the parking lot we don't want other people accidentally getting caught up in our tour group. It's not because we don't like them, it's because they won't be listening to the radio the way you guys are, and we are going to be going out there next to some rather large animals. For instance, up to 3,000-pound bison might be next to your car, and if you're not listening to the radio and don't realize you're on a tour, that might be quite frightening to you, and we don't want that to happen. So let's make sure that we don't accidentally get someone caught up in our tour and freak them out. Now we will be going through a couple of different stop signs up here. We do not need to stop for them. We do have the right of way as a tour group, so we're going to go straight on through this first stop sign that I'm going through, and we're going to make a left-hand turn at this second stop sign. Now once we get out there to the free roaming area, I will slow down quite a bit. We are going to go a little bit quicker until we get out there. So I'm going to start picking up my pace now and make sure to keep those gaps nice and close together. We won't get anywhere over about 17, 18 miles an hour on the way out there. That's going to be about the fastest we're going to go. We'll go much slower when we're out there. Now, when we're out there, we do need to keep those cars close together again, but for a different reason. You see, the animals out there, those ungulates, they are large herd or band animals. They hang together in groups and they move together and feed. Now, as long as our cars look like a long line of large herbivores, they're not going to be bothered by them, and they're just going to continue doing what they're doing. And after all, that is kind of the point of a wildlife viewing tours, to be able to view the wildlife, and that's what we want. So as long as we keep moving, as long as we keep our cars close together, we'll look like a herd of large herbivorous vehicles, and they will not be bothered by that. It's when we stop our wheels, and we should never stop our tires while we're out there. We should always be moving, and I will go very, very slow, 1 or 2 miles an hour when there's animals around, but we will keep moving at all times. If you stop, that looks like posturing behavior, and they will see that as a threat or a challenge. Either way, the reaction is not going to be something that we like. So let's make sure that we don't do that while we are out there. To our maintenance department right here. And in here, you're going to get a little sneak peek of our trams. We have some of them out there doing practice right now, but we do have some here in the bus barn. At least I think we do. Yes, we do. We've got some here in the bus barn. We've got 4 of them here. We need 6 of them in order to run them. So we're still waiting for 2 of them to get here from Portugal, but soon, hopefully, we will have those up and running. Now we're going to go through another gate right here, and this gate will take us into our free roaming area. We're going to go over something called a cattle guard to get in there, because cattle are ungulates as well, and hooved animals have a hard time getting across these series of pipes that we're about to drive over. Now, it will cause a rumble when you drive over in your car, but there's nothing to worry about. It's not going to do any harm to your car. It's just to keep the animals out of the maintenance yard and giving the maintenance folks a hard time. And then we're having our Jurassic Park moment, driving into the front gates.
Jurassic
right
Park moment, I love it.
What do they got in there? King Kong?
In our free
Okay, but there are the trams, you guys. So those are some of their trams that he was just talking about. And they're waiting for just a couple more to get here. And they're going to be using them soon throughout their park. So that's very exciting. So I'm going to say real quick, I am so sorry if the camera's shaky because it's sitting right on the dashboard. But I'll, you know, throw in bits and pieces from the camera up front to the time lapse on the side of my vehicle.
You can notice he has some.
Oh, look, he's rolling around in the dirt
against this tree just off to the left. For one thing, his horns look different than the female horns. He's got L-shaped horns. They go straight out of the side of his head and point straight upward. Whereas you notice that the females that are around him, for one thing, they're smaller, and their horns are shaped more like a C. And we remember that
Right, look on your side.
Have 2 L's in their name and 2 L's on their head. And the cows have C's on their head because their horns are shaped more like a C. You'll also notice that that big bull up there has that huge cape of fur, that very thick fur around his front legs and shoulders.
Did you get a little nervous, buddy?
Have that, at least not during. They purchased
oh my
this
goodness,
property
you
way
guys,
back
that was
in
so cool. They got
1937, and
so
they got a great deal on the
close.
property because they
Wow,
got it for
White got a little nervous.
$450. That's 100 acres they got. Because this is a, oh, speaking of shelter, right out here, sorry, he's a little bit off cue, but right there you'll see a large rack of antlers sticking up. Now that is a our male caribou out there. Those are his antlers. Now I realize his antlers probably don't look like what you're used to seeing.
Oh yeah,
when
right
you
there
see
between the
antlers.
trees.
Right now they are still growing, so they've got a coating of
So here, let me get closer. You'll see them. They're big antlers between the trees. They kind of look like sticks.
They like to go out and eat as much greenery as they
Well,
can.
I'm still a little bit not in position, so just wait.
He's out right now in the shade and in the tall grasses where he's hidden.
Okay, I'm approaching right now. See right there? You see the big old antlers? Yeah, right down there. There he is.
And he is just highlighting what I was saying about how important these wetlands
Okay, well, he's kind of just lying there in the grass.
Everything they need.
It looks like big old sticks sticking up.
All be found in these wetlands, and that's only females, and they're going to be competing with each other for dominance. But if you look at that big male right there, you can see those characteristics that make him different than the female. He is much larger. There's a much larger hump there on his shoulders, and he has that. But I do want to finish what I was saying about the
antlers
bison.
that they fell off.
There are about 10,000 bison.
So those are some antlers that fell off of the elk. Oh yeah, and there's one on the other side right there. There's one on your side, yes.
300 or 400, but it's not as good as the millions. But it does go to show that even when we make the
Oh, it was right there on the ground, baby. Like right below the truck, honey. There's even an elk or something, another deer down there.
In what we call pothole lake down here. They are mammals that are semi-aquatic. They love to be in the water. They will actually be able to dive deeply under the water.
Yeah, look back over there. Are those aren't moose? Oh, there's the moose.
They can dive under that
right
water
over there.
and eat those plants that are
But there's some
down there.
other kind of animal right across the lake pond over there.
Slow down so you guys can get a nice long look.
All right, let me
And this
speed
is like
up a
one of
little.
our females and one of our males.
Oh, look at the one up there on the hill. We're getting really close, Bella. It's gonna be on your side.
And he's getting his first set of antlers, so don't make fun of them. They're kind of small right now. Be sensitive about that. But they're down there, and they're not just drinking that water. You see that plant that's growing on top of the water. That's not pond scum. That's actually a plant. It's called duckweed. And
Hey, you see a bug on your side? And there's some in the water over here too, sweetie.
I think I am. If you look across, yep, I'm seeing a couple of them. If you look across the lake from where the caribou.
Oh, they're caribou. That's what it. That's a cross over there.
As well, I see a couple of females. We saw our males earlier, and as I mentioned earlier in the tour, our females also.
Look at them eating.
They were one exception to that rule. And you'll notice though that these females,
Those
their
are
antlers
caribou,
not nearly
baby.
as large and impressive as
Caribou
the
cross over there,
females.
yeah.
I'm not sure why the females get that.
Oh yeah, look, the other one made its way down
But
to
my
the
dream
water,
is that,
the moose.
just like Roosevelt's generation, just like Buffalo Bill's generation, and just like the Helliers were able to donate all of this property for wildlife conservation, that our generation will be the hero generation too, that we'll start managing our wildlife and our wild spaces better.
All right, so we just got done with the drive-through wildlife tour, and we were really hungry, so we decided to get something to eat. It is the height of summer, and I'm honestly really surprised that their cafe is not like fully employed. It seems like it took a really long time to get it, at least 30 minutes, if not more, I feel like, to get this burger. We were waiting for a while. So I got their black and bean burger, and the kids are split in just a cheeseburger because they are not that hungry right now. If you do not know, my son actually has ADHD, so when he's on his medicine, when we are going out and things are very, very busy, he tends not to eat that much. But here is a look at the black bean burger. Looks very crispy and kind of charred. It's got some sort of mayo on it. Doesn't look too bad. I would say I think I would prefer the french fries to be a little bit more cooked. They don't look that well colored. So this patty is very sloppy Joe-like. It is just fallen apart though. So I do say it has very good flavor, but I do wish it held together better. Put a little mayo, mustard on it. Not mayo, mustard. A little mustard. Ooh, it's got a very good spice kick on the back end. So I do like that. But before I finish all this, my lunch here, I did want to discuss a little bit about the wild tour. I thought it was very fun. Wyatt, what did you think how it was? Did you enjoy it?
Yes.
Yeah? What was your favorite part? What was your favorite animal? You don't have a favorite animal? What was your favorite animal, Bug?
I tried the mango.
So remember we saw moose and elk.
I like the moose.
You like the moose in the water? That was kind of cool. And the bison?
Yes. But I would have to say the bison, one of the bisons got really close up and I was just and so I just roll up the window.
So Wyatt was a little nervous with the bison so close to the window. So you can have the windows rolled down. They ask you to not put your hands or anything outside of the window. You can't have food and drinks on your tour. Just be careful not to drop anything out there. We don't want any of the animals to get a hold of any of that kind of food. There was so much knowledge that our tour guide gave us that it was almost hard to like catch everything. I would definitely do this tour a couple of times if you come out here. If you get a Zoom membership, it is $70. And if you are a non-member, though, it is $90. And that's and you do get admission to the zoo itself, so it's not like a separate price. So with purchase, you do get access to the rest of the zoo, which is a really nice benefit to that, because some places I know things like this are, like usually a little bit separate. So that was nice. And so if you ever find yourself out in this area, I highly, highly recommend checking out the tour, the wild tour, because I don't think anywhere really holds this kind, of offering that you can just drive along in their natural habitat. So that's something really neat. I do hope that I captured as much of it as possible. It was a little hard again, driving and filming at the same time. So when William comes back out with us, I will be sure to try to capture even more. Okay. So we are here, right? There's the cafe. So yeah, if we go more this way, we could go to see the lynx and the cougar and the bobcat. And then we could work our way back and go see The red fox and the wolves and the bears. What do you think? Does that sound like fun?
Sure.
Okay, let's go do that. So over on like the opposite side of the entrance right there, they do have a nice field area and a ton of picnic tables. So I would highly recommend bringing your own lunch because the cafe area, it took so long to get our food. And even with the Zoo membership, it was still quite pricey. So you can bring such a great picnic lunch and enjoy the weather and not have to wait so long to get around to seeing other animals. Oh my goodness, you guys, if you be very quiet, you can hear them howling right now.
That one's not talking. What are you talking about?
Oh, there's one in the back there, huh?
Which one's not talking?
Oh, there's one over there.
Oh yeah, there's one right there.
Right here. Do you see this one?
Yeah,
What about that one?
yeah. The other one.
Makes you massage, huh?
Yeah, I know. I'm getting his face.
He's playing with a rock. Good job, Bug. They look far. No. Those grizzly bears were so cool playing in the water and everything. At first we weren't having any luck with the foxes, or what was the other one? Why, a badger? Or no, the wolverines. Yeah, the wolverines. So I was starting to get almost like a little worried that we weren't going to see like too many animals on the walking path. And those grizzly bears, by now you would have seen our trip to Montana and our trip to the grizzly bear sanctuary. And they reminded me so much of that, playing with the rocks and all that. I believe the grizzly bear's name up there that we saw was Max. Max was so cute. So you can tell that one of these grizzlies is probably quite young, probably close to Max's age. But it's like, yeah, and so Max was from Alaska. So we're kind of relatively close, you know, being Washington State and all, to Alaska. So it's kind of more his natural habitat. But I am glad that he has a place that he can call home and live his life in safety. Wow, what an incredible trip it was out here to Northwest Trek. I'm so glad I got to share this childhood experience with my kids. And what a unique take. I've never actually been able to drive out on there on the prairie lands and in the wetlands. And I'm so glad that they actually kept it around even after COVID. I sure hope that maybe they keep doing it even once they get the trams going. Maybe they can select a few good days where they can still keep on operating it, because I think that's such a unique experience. Did you think that that was good? Was that your favorite part? Or did you prefer the part where we walked around and saw all of the predators and the unique sounds and playfulness that they did today? I really enjoyed that too. It was hard to pick. Why don't you let me know what was your favorite part in the comments below? All right, so if you haven't hit that subscribe button or that notification bell, go ahead and do it now, because I can't wait to show you more of the Northwest. The state is truly beautiful. Not that I did not enjoy our Florida journey, but I can't wait to take you on some new adventures. And as always, you guys, remember that your ordinary life is truly extraordinary.
A new place, a new home. For a while, let me feel alive. Nothing to hold me back. Take my time, just enjoy the ride. A new man passing by. Life is good, best I've ever felt.
Tell me about it.
Get me up.
It's a beautiful day, isn't it?
Can't find myself. Oh, I feel so